CBC Boxing. So earlier on boxingscene.com, I had a look at a few articles, and one caught my eye. It says the title of this is Tyson Fury not convinced Anthony Joshua will reach the unification. So basically, what he was saying is when the two come to fight in 2021, they won't fight for the WBO, WBA, IBO, and IBF championship because it's a possibility that each fighter might not have the belts. And it's a fair point that Tyson Fury was making there. And I was listening to a Tyson Fury interview on IFL TV with Kugan Cassius, and he was pretty much saying that Joshua has got two mandatory fights. He's got Pulev, which was obviously meant to happen in June 20th, but it's been postponed because of the coronavirus. And then he's got Usyk. Now Usyk is a tricky fighter. Usyk might even be a harder fight for Joshua than Fury, because Usyk is a really tricky fighter. And he's been in the ring with a vast amount of opponents. He's been in the ring with opponents that have a lot of power in the cruiserweight division. I know he's only had a few heavyweight fights, and he was set to fight Chisora, which I was looking forward to because Chisora is a proper heavyweight. So that would have been an interesting fight for Usyk to see how he gets in there. But yeah, Joshua's got to get through Pulev and then get through Usyk. Now those two fights aren't exactly the easiest fights, as I said before. So being that in 2021, or once he gets through those two fighters, he might not even have one of the belts. He could lose, and we've seen vulnerabilities in AJ, and the same thing with Tyson Fury. Not to say that we've seen vulnerabilities in his boxing skills, but he's got Wilder. He's got the Wilder rematch, that third trilogy, and I don't know where Wilder is in terms of his head. But at the same time, Wilder's a very dangerous fighter. He's got that right hand, as we saw in the first fight. But to be fair, Fury did dominate both fights, so it's one of them ones where I'm convinced that Fury will get through that one. And he's got to have a mandatory against Dillian Whyte. I know that Dillian Whyte is suing the WBC for breach of contract, being that they're not allowing him to have that mandatory fight. And then there's a situation where Fury might now be franchise champion. All these belts is getting a bit complicated, but listen, with Dillian Whyte, that's not exactly going to be an easy fight. I am convinced that Fury will beat him, but Whyte is a very, very good fighter at the same time. So when it comes to 2021, neither Fury or AJ will have it's possibilities they might not have all the belts, so it might not be a unification bout. And then now the problem with this is the fight's still going to sell at the end of the day. The fight's still going to sell, but in terms of value, it might not be as valuable. They might not make as much money. But in terms of a British showdown, they're going to sell regardless. But I mean, in terms of worldwide value and putting those belts as a marketing tool, I think it might be a little bit harder if both fighters are not to have the belts. But just scrolling down here, just having a look at what it says. I've pretty much covered all of it. He's got to fight Usyk, but I'm looking forward to seeing this fight. I'd prefer if all the belts are on the line, but in boxing anything can happen. In heavyweight boxing, anyone can get knocked out. But that's just my view. What do you guys think? Do you think the fight's still going to go ahead with both of them having all the belts? CBC, I'm out.